Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Aminat Olowora, junior runner from Nigeria, who was named the most valuable performer for the women's team in the NAIA Indoor Championships this past week. And you won the national championship in both the mile and the 3,000. Tell us about those races.
It was awesome. You know, sometimes when you're running and you have people around you that supported you, anytime you're going out, you just go there and do all your best. When I was running the 1 mile, I think that's the most toughest race for me, the 1 mile. Because I wasn't expecting, although the coach already told me the girl is fast, I need to watch out for her. So when I was going, she just laid the pace from the starting. Then she was like ahead of me, like throughout the race. Then I was like, oh my God, I need to go after this girl. But the more she moved, then I keep following her. Then I just tell myself, I don't want to let my team down. Because I know if I can go after her or maybe finish with her or beat her, that will give the other people like the motivation. Like Sarah is going to run after me and she's going to compete with the same girls. So I need to like give her like the courage that, okay, you can do it. So when I was going after her, that's what I was thinking, like, okay, if this girl should beat me now, I know Sarah will be like, oh, I'm not sure maybe I can beat this girl. But if I can beat the girl, then she will know it's easy to beat her. So I just go after her. Then it was awesome. Like when we have like 400 meters to go, then she was ahead of me. She already had the curve. Then I was just coming outside from the first curve. Then I was like, okay, just keep chasing her, just keep chasing her. Then when I get to like 200 meters to go, then I already closed the gap. So I just left her. But the 3,000 meters, it was kind of easy for me because I was just relaxing throughout the race. So I just won the 3,000 meters easily because that one was easy, if I may say.
You also ran the anchor leg in the relay teams as well. How exciting were those races?
The relay team, I would say it's because of the team. That's why I was able to run well. Because sometimes if you are the only athlete that is good, there's no way you can perform well. But if you have some people like your teammate, they are also good, they are ready to run, then that also gave you like the morale, like to go for it. So when I was running all the relay, I just like tell them, once you guys give me the baiting at the right time, I'm quite sure I'm gonna do better. Even though coach was telling me like they eat, oh, you just need to take it easy. I was like, okay, we are going to take it easy. But once I'm at the front, I'm first position, I'm not going to go back. I just need to finish. So he always told me to take it easy. But the final, I was so surprised for the final, especially Stephanie and Sarah and Sheridan. They all ran like the best race I've ever seen because the first leg, the second leg, the third leg, they are the front throughout the race. So they gave me the baiting at the right time, so I was able to go for it.
Going back to the fall, you won the NAIA Cross Country Championship in record time back in November. What do you remember about that performance?
Cross country, I love cross country. So anytime I'm running on the road, I just like go for it because sometimes we train on the road all the time. Then anytime you're running on the road, it's just going to be the same. So anytime I'm running cross country, I always put my best. I'm just that kind of athlete. I don't give up easily, no matter what, because the weather was too cold for me that day. So I need to wear something to cover my hair because I was like, oh, in California, the weather is different from here. So the weather was too cold for me that day, but that didn't stop me from winning because I already like, oh, I have this time I wanted to run. So I just go there and do my best. Sometimes what matters most is the practice. Once you train hard, it will be very easy for you to compete. So every time in practice, I run as if I'm competing. So if I go to competition, it's easy for me.
What brought you here to OCU?
I would say OCU is very lucky to have me here. Yeah, because I decided to come to OCU like 2 weeks. 2 weeks for the school to resume because I was thinking of going to San Francisco State University before. I already talked to the coach. They already invited me over to come to the school to visit the school. So I traveled to UK. Then I was like, oh, when I get back to US, I'm going to San Francisco State University. Then my coach started talking to me about OCU. Then he was like, this is the best school for you. Because this is what I noticed about my coach. he believed if I go to San Francisco State University, they're just going to be using me as an athlete, which is I'm going to be running for them also, but my education is very important. Then he thought maybe this is the best place for me to get a good education. It's not like they're not going to give me the good education at San Francisco State University, but I'll be running more as an athlete than being a student. So he told me, okay, you just need to go to this school. If you don't like it, then we can talk about it. When the first time I came here, and I can see like this where I belong. Like the athlete, the student, they are so nice. So I was like, okay, I think I'm at home. Yeah.
When did you start your practice of training alongside men's runners?
I think my coach in Nigeria, back in Nigeria, I thought it was like punishing me then, like it make me to do more. Anytime we are running, we just like, oh, you need to go after the guys. I was like, no, they are guys, they're stronger than me. Then sometimes they make it harder for me. So we ask them to go first, and we ask me to chase them. Then all these guys also, anytime I'm chasing them, they don't want me to pass them. So they'll be running hard. Then you already told me you need to catch them, so I will be like going after them. So I think it's the one that gave me like the motivation, like being strong, and I don't give up. Because anytime I'm running with these guys, then my coach already told me, if they gap you, if they win you, if they get here before you, you are going to do another one. Then no athlete wants to do another one. So I need to go after them, so because I don't want to do another one. So I think it's my coach in Nigeria. He gave me the courage of going with the guys. Then when I came to US also, when I was training with my coach also in Southwestern College, he also put me in that kind of threshold, like training with the guys all the time. Then coming here and training with the guys also, it make it easy for me.
Tell us about your experience at Southwestern College in California.
Southwestern College, I think I would talk much about the coaches and the professor there. They are so nice to me, like they make me feel at home. You know, sometimes leaving your country to come to somewhere you don't know anybody, you would think maybe you'd be a stranger, but they didn't make me feel that, because my coach is always on my neck. You need to do this, you need to do that, so I was like, I think it prepared me for everything in US. Like most of the time, he talked to me not like a coach alone, but like a father to daughter. So I think that kind of gave me the courage to always keep going. So I don't give up. Anytime we are in practice, then I'm running with the guys. He just tell me, you need to go after them. You need to keep thinking about your dream, because my goal is one day to be a professional athlete. So in order to do that, I need to start preparing for now. Although sometimes it's kind of hard to be an athlete and a student athlete, but sometimes you just need to like do it together. So I know I'm not ready to be a professional athlete now because of my studying. I need to focus on my education first, then when I finish school, then I can focus on being a professional athlete.
And what's your major here at OCU?
Human performance, exercise science, human performance.
So obviously, professional athlete is the goal in sight, but what other career plans might you have?
I have a goal to work with people. Like, I always believe I have a talent. Like, there's sometimes you just believe you are born, you are destined to add to some people achievement, to teach people what you know. I know sometimes I'm not that perfect, but I know I'm going to be a successful coach one day. Like, my goal is to, like, what I learn, how I run sometimes, the motivation is just to teach people. It's not about running alone. Coach, you want to coach, it's not about running on the track alone, but how to talk to your athlete. I think I have that kind of stuff, then I think that will help me in future to coach athletes.
All right, talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Aminat Olowora. You can follow the stars on OCUsports.com.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to track cross-country coach Matt Aguero. The Stars finished runner-up on the women's side in the NAIA Indoor Championships this past week. And Matt, how extraordinary was that finish considering you had 8 athletes competing?
It was very impressive. I mean, we knew we had a shot of doing well. Our goal going in was kind of to get in the top 4. Top 4 teams get trophies, and we asked a lot from all of our girls. Most of them were doubling, some were tripling. Aminat Olowora quadrupled, so I ran in 4 races, and actually with prelims and finals ended up running 7 different races in three days.
She was also named outstanding performer at the event. Just kind of go through her performance for the week.
Well, she ran, like I said, she ran 7 races. The first day she ran in the 4x800, anchored that, and then came back in the DMR, and those were prelims. Friday she came back, ran the 3000, and then anchored our 4x8, which won. Saturday she ran the mile, won that event, and probably the greatest race I've ever seen. She was down by 10 seconds with 400 meters to go, and I'm supposed to have faith in our athletes, and I was kind of doubting her, and I'll never do that again. She had an amazing kick and actually made up 13 seconds and won by 3 seconds in that last lap in the mile. Then went on and won the 3K, came back and anchored our DMR and won that. So she has 4 national titles for indoor, and that ties the record, the NAIA record.
Sarah Moore, also another multiple All-American for you. She ran in a few events as well. Recap her performance.
She did. She ran 6 races total. She ran in the 1000 as an individual, finished 3rd. I think we had a couple girls, when you're trying to score so many points, if we just focused on one race, that they probably could have won a national title individually. I think she's that way. In the 1000 meters, she finished 3rd, where had she been fresh, she might have had a chance to win it. Lydia Mato was the same way in the 5000. She finished 3rd in that, and she ran the 3K about 40 minutes before that. So she might have had a chance for a national titles, but they scored a lot of points for us. Like I said, Sarah Moore is a senior for us. She ran both the 4x8 and the DMR as well.
So tell us about your relay teams, 3,200 meters, as well as the distance medley. Talk about their performances.
Well, the 3,200 was our first final, and that was Friday night. All the other finals were Saturday. So it was our first chance to actually score points. And really, I knew that would be the harder one in the relays. I was a little more concerned on that. However, I knew we had the best anchor leg in Aminat. So I thought if we're close that she'll give us a chance to win it. And that kind of set the tone for the whole national championship because they handed off in the lead to Aminat. So I knew if she got it with the lead, then we were sitting pretty good. So for us, that was to win the first national championship on the women's side. And it kind of just set the tone for the rest of the meet.
You have a couple of new athletes on the roster for this spring. Tell us about them.
We have Brooke Hasser, who's a transfer in. She ran in the mile. She was scheduled to run 3K in the mile. She came down with the flu. Wasn't able to run the 3K on Friday. Came back Saturday and ran the mile. And really, that was the first event. And I think that kind of inspired the girls. First, they saw Aminat come back from this, from a 10-second deficit with a lap to go. And then to see Brooke kind of go out there and just give it all she had, even though the day before she was kind of in bed all day, and finished 10th in the nation, really inspired them. Lydia Mato's another girl that's new for us this spring. She was here last fall and redshirted and now running for us and did well. She was an All-American in the 3000 and then came back and was 3rd in the nation, was an All-American in the 5000. Stephanie Neal is kind of she came into my office in December. She's a volleyball player here and had a great, the volleyball team did great this past fall. And she came into my office and said she'd like to try out. And I thought, okay, we'll give you a tryout. Not expecting much. After about a week, once we saw her work ethic and saw that she had some talent, we thought, okay, you're on the team now. She qualified in the 600 for us, finished 12th in the nation as an individual, and then ran 2 amazing legs on the 4x8 and the DMR. So she was on both of those title teams.
On the men's side, Max McNeil had an All-American performance in the 5,000. What can you say about that performance? Max
ran great. With 300 meters to go, he moved into second place, and there was a big pack, and he just kind of got out-kicked at the end. We've really been focusing on Max to run well in the marathon and outdoor season. So we've been giving him a ton of mileage, and just his speed isn't where it needs to be, or I think he might have finished a little higher. But as a freshman to finish 6th in the nation and being All-American, we're kind of excited about him and what his future's going to hold.
So what's on the horizon for the outdoor season coming up?
Well, we have a few people qualified in the marathon already. We have 3 women and 2 guys. We have our first meet tomorrow. None of our national qualifiers from indoor will be running that because they're kind of relaxing now after all those races and events they ran. And then in 2 weeks on the 25th, we come back and we'll run at OBU again. But I feel like on the men's side, we'll have a few more athletes qualified. I think we'll have 4 or so, or probably closer to 5, 6 maybe. And then on the women's side, I think we'll do well. Like I said, we got those marathoners. I think we'll have a few kids in the 5K and 10K and in the steeple, and hopefully 1,500 as well. And then hopefully we'll make a run at the 4x800 relay too.
All right, talking to track cross-country coach Matt Aguero. You can follow the stars on OCUsports.com.